아니라고. 생각보다 많이 열었는데? 잠깐만. 여기 우리 구경 좀 할래? 땡큐. 이때까지 안 찍었어. 안 찍었어. 가방 올릴까? 여기 터치스크린도 다 닦고. 봐봐, 이거 해가지고 여기 뒤 옆에 앞에 여기 닦고 여기 우리 이거 하나 트롤리 하나 갖고 오셔야 나왔다. 그니 잠깐만 일단 확인하고 우리 거 맞지? 이렇게 뿌예. 아 내가 여기서 그런가? 너무 힘들다.
여권으로 확인할게요.
아 여권이요? 사갈래? 안녕하세요. 가자. 아마 장난치는 건 아니겠지? 네. 없지? 완전 높다.
Cold hands and sore feet. You've been walking for an hour on abandoned streets. Weak knees and fresh scars. It's a struggle when you're losing track of who you are. The words you stole won't save your soul. They can only buy you time. Light a candle or curse the dark. It's all the same to me. Start a fire or drown the spark and shake away the heat. Tell the truth or live a lie. Just don't close your eyes. So spent, you've been holding up the world with your good intent. Help out like you should. It's a burden that you never really understood. But Caroline, I'm doing fine. It's the others who are dying. Light a candle or curse the dark. It's all the same to me. Start a fire, drown the spark, and shake away the heat. Tell the truth or live a lie. Just don't close your eyes. And you're breaking, but you're faking. Nothing's ever wrong. And concealing what you're feeling